Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we are unpacking something absolutely monumental, the future enterprise. Organizations all over the globe are standing on the edge of this completely unprecedented era of transformation. Artificial intelligence is literally changing how we work. Tech is rapidly shifting how we compete. And on top of that, human expectations are completely rewriting how we lead. Because of all this, the organizations that are actually going to succeed in the future, they can't just tweak or improve their old models. No way. They are going to have to build entirely new ones. So let's explore exactly what that looks like. Here is how we're going to break it down today. 1. The context, or the why. 2. The concept, the what. 3. The synergy, the who. And 4. The mandate, the how. All right, let's kick things off with a pretty crucial question. Look, businesses have been evolving for centuries, right? That is nothing new. So why exactly is massive organizational change suddenly accelerating so fast right now? What is it about this specific moment in history that demands such a dramatic rethink of how we do business?
That brings us to section 1, the context, the acceleration of change.
Well, change is accelerating at a breakneck pace because we basically have these 6 major forces colliding all at the exact same time. It's like a perfect storm. We've got AI and automation acting as these massive, immediate technological catalysts, and they're driving a broader digital transformation across literally every industry. Then you add in borderless global competition, completely shifting workforce expectations, and massive changes in what customers actually want. Any single one of these forces is disruptive on its own, for sure. But converging together all at once, they absolutely demand a total rethinking of how we create value. So the crucial point here, and I really want to emphasize this, is that we are not just looking at a passing phase of adopting some cool new tech. Actually, scratch the idea that this is just another trend. This isn't simply about migrating to the cloud or installing new software to make your old processes a tiny bit faster. We are witnessing a fundamental transformation of business itself, the whole shebang. The very model of what a business is and how it functions is being completely rewritten. Let's move on to section 2. The concept, defining the future enterprise. So, what exactly is a future enterprise? Put simply, it's an organization designed for continuous adaptation. It's a place where evolution becomes a core capability. It's engineered from the ground up to just expect the unexpected. In this model, adaptation isn't some frantic emergency response anymore. It's literally baked right into the very DNA of the company. The contrast here is pretty stark, honestly. Legacy organizations relied heavily on fixed structures and super rigid processes because, well, they were built for a predictable world. But future enterprises, they continuously evolve. They embed agility directly into their design. The whole architecture of a future enterprise inherently expects things to change, and it's ready for it. To pull this off, the future enterprise relies on this totally new DNA. It requires seamlessly blending artificial intelligence with human expertise, all held together by organizational agility. When you weave in continuous learning, innovation, and strategic resilience into that mix, you get a company that doesn't just survive disruption, it actually leverages it to grow stronger. Which brings us to section 3, the synergy, AI and the human advantage. Let's tackle the technology side first. AI is the new intelligence foundation, period. And it isn't just about efficiency or saving a few bucks. It improves high-level decision-making, revolutionizes daily operations, and fuels continuous innovation. Ultimately, it allows us to completely transform customer experiences and uncover new business opportunities we couldn't have even imagined, say, 10 years ago. Moving forward, future enterprises will increasingly be these highly intelligent, hyper-data-driven organizations. But here is the really fascinating twist. As AI takes over and automates all the routine stuff, our specific human traits become exponentially more valuable. Things like creativity, visionary leadership, complex ethical judgment, and deep empathy. These are irreplaceable capabilities. The rote tasks disappear, which is great, leaving us humans entirely free to do what we actually do best. So the big takeaway here is that the future is incredibly collaborative. The absolute strongest organizations out there are the ones seamlessly combining artificial intelligence with human intelligence. It is definitely not a human versus machine scenario. It's human and machine working together in tandem to achieve a level of organizational strength that neither could possibly reach on its own. It's a real game changer. All right, on to our final part, section 4, the mandate, leading the transformation.
Look, managing this massive kind of transformation while somehow maintaining your current performance, that requires a completely new breed of leader. You have to cast a super clear vision and actively guide your team through the change. That means building a truly adaptable culture where people actually feel safe innovating and developing the skills of tomorrow. Ultimately, all this transformation begins and ends with a leader's ability to navigate uncertainty.
So, where do you even begin? I want to pause here and highlight this really powerful perspective shifting question that every leader needs to be asking themselves right now. If we were building our organization from scratch today, what would we design differently? Just let that sink in for a second. Seriously, rethinking your core assumptions like that is a massive competitive advantage. The future heavily rewards organizations that are willing to look in the mirror and rethink everything from the ground up.
Okay, let's quickly summarize what we've unpacked in this explainer today. Building a future enterprise means establishing a rock-solid foundation on these core pillars. By synthesizing AI with human capability, maintaining true organizational agility, driving nonstop innovation, embracing continuous learning, and executing with strategic leadership, you create an unstoppable force. I really want to remind you, the organizations that thrive in the coming decades won't just adopt a few new tech tools and awkwardly stick them onto their old workflows. They are going to completely redesign themselves around entirely new possibilities.
And that leads us to this incredibly empowering takeaway. The future enterprise isn't something we just sit around and wait for. It isn't some passive inevitability that's just going to wash over us. No, it is a proactive construction project, and it is something we must actively start building right now. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on, directly challenging your own assumptions. Take a really good look at your own team, your own workflows, your own company. If you were building your organization from scratch today, what would you design differently? What legacy processes would you just leave behind? And how would you build adaptation right into the core? Take those questions with you as you prepare to build the future. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.